Hello everyone, welcome to Infostonsystems channel. This is David. This is the fourth episode, and the last episode, which is third episode. We have talked about what is an electron, what is an atomic structure, and why the flow of electron is important for current to pass. And also we have talked about pure silicon. So we cannot use pure silicon in transistor as a semiconductor because pure silicon is not a conductive silicon. If you haven't watched episode 3, that's the last episode, please go ahead and watch and come and watch now. So in this episode, so that you will have a better understanding. In this episode, we're going to explore the process of converting pure silicon to conductive silicon. So we already know the pure silicon's atomic structure. The electron in the pure silicon is tightly bound with the nucleus so that it won't freely move. To enable electric current to pass, we have to let electron to move freely, right? So here the pure silicon won't allow the electron to freely move. That is why it is not a good conductive electron. So that we need to convert that silicon to a conductive silicon, right? There is a technique to convert the silicon to be conductive silicon. The technique is adding impurities to silicon. When I say the word impurities, it sounds weird, right? Let me simplify this. Let's take pure water as an example. Pure water or distilled water. It doesn't conduct electricity current, right? Because it lacks minerals. But what if you're going to contaminate the water by adding impurities into that? Then the water will become a conductive solution, right? For example, what if you're going to mix a salt with water? The salt is a sodium chloride. When you mix with water, the sodium and chloride will release the ion. It will make the water to make it conductive solution, right? Just like that, we have to contaminate the silicon to make it conductive, right? Just make it simple. So which means we have to add impurities to silicon. The process of adding impurities to silicon or any element called doping. So doping means we have to dope any element with any other element to change its properties and its electrons. So here we have to change the silicon's electron, right? For that we have to dope with other element. There are two ways of doping. There are two purposes. So one purpose is to make silicon to carry the negative charge, and the another purpose is to make silicon to carry the positive charge. To make the silicon to carry the negative charge, they will dope with one element called phosphorus. The phosphorus has 5 valence electron and silicon has 4 valence electron. When you dope with each other, there are 4 electrons equally bind with each other, but there is one extra electron from phosphorus, right? That electron to be considered as a freely moved electron. So whenever the electron freely move, that will conduct the electricity current. And also we know wherever the electron moves, that will carry the negative charge. We already have seen the last episode copper as an example, right? The copper has one free electron in atomic structure, so that is why it is freely moved, it will conduct the electricity current. So that's why we consider copper as a highly conductive material. So same like that here, when we dope silicon with the phosphorus, there is one extra electron doesn't bind with the silicon, so that electron will move freely. That is why it will become a conductive silicon when we dope with phosphorus. For making a silicon to carry the positive charge, there is another element called boron. They dope with silicon. So here boron has 3 valence electron, but silicon has 4 valence electron. So when we dope with each other, the 4 valence electron from silicon will bind with 3 valence electron with boron, which means there is one empty space will be created, right? So whenever the empty space is created, that is called hole, then the next electron will try to fill the hole. Once the next electrons fill the hole, it will leave that original space empty, right? So that means the next electron also will try to fill the hole. So which means the hole will move, right? Instead of electron moves, the hole will move. Whenever the hole moves, that carries the positive charge. This is the way we convert pure silicon to be a conductive silicon by doping with other elements. Now you have come up with the question, right? What is valence electron? Let's talk about that. So before I'm going to explain about valence electron, I would like to give you the best example that will make you understand it better. So assume that there is a ground, there are two events taking place. One is a classical event and another one is a Western event. So just assume that people sitting around and watching that event, just like a stadium setup, there are circles. The first circle, who will sit in the first circle? The one who conducts that particular event, they prefer to sit in the first circle, right? The second and third circle may be the people who really interested in that particular event. For example, if someone is more interested particularly for classical event, that those people will go and sit at most near to the event, maybe second circle or third circle, right? The same way for Western event, people who are much interested in that particular Western event, they also prefer sit inside of first circle or second circle or third circle. But who will sit in the last circle? The one who doesn't have knowledge in the music, or the one who not much interested in the particular event, they prefer to sit in the outer circle, right? For example, if a person who not much interested in classical, so and he will sit in the last circle, he prefer to sit in the last circle, means that he will just watch some time. If it is boring, then he will move to Western event and sit there for some time. So those are the same way Western people, the one who sit in the last circle in the Western event, if he get bored in Western, he will also come to the classical. This is the way the people will go there and come there. These people, they never prefer go inside or deep into that particular event because they're not much interested in that, right? So we also do the same. Whenever we go for any event, if you're not interested or if you do not have knowledge in that, we never prefer go inside. We just sit outside and we watch sometime and we leave, right? So consider these people are valence electron. We already know the atomic structure. Proton and neutron always place inside the nucleus, but the electron always placed outer side of nucleus, means it is outer shell of nucleus, that is orbit around the nucleus. So whichever electron is placed outermost shell to be considered as a valence electron, those valence electron only can bind with other element. So that is called doping. When we dope with another element, only the valence electron can bind with other element. So now you understand what is valence electron, right? In next episode, we will see detail how we going to use the processed silicon, means phosphorus mixed silicon and boron mixed silicon to the transistor in detail. So until then, stay tuned. Thank you.